Hi everyone, I'm CCYamato. It is time for the 4th episode of Cardcaptor Sakura, the clear cards. We're going to get a new transfer student today. I wonder who it could possibly be. Yeah, as if, I haven't been following the manga. I'm sure there are anime followers only who haven't been following the manga. That's why I've been seeing the tag on Tumblr be like, hey, just for all you anime people, let's get this out of the way. Akiho's not here to be a love triangle thing. She's not here to threaten the Sakura Shaoran ship, so just don't even bother questioning it, because we already know that that's not it. So I guess there are some anime purists who don't know. But come to think of it, Shaoran didn't start showing up in Catch You Catch Me until after he debuted, but Akiho has been in Clear the entire time, so you already know what she looks like. But I guess maybe still it'll be a surprise to some people. Beyond that, I think this is just the episode that's going to have action in it. We've already seen the battle costume that she's going to be wearing, which, as I feel right now, I feel like those colors are really weird. But otherwise, yeah, it should just be action, and that's it. So, not that I'm disappointed. I'm hoping maybe they fuse parts of the episode where it's like she catches it and then she meets up with Yue again and shows off how action works. But otherwise, that's all that's going to happen next. So I'm going to go watch it, and you guys get to find out how I feel. Alright, so I'm usually not as energetic after these episodes, not since the first episode, but this is the episode where Akiho was introduced, so yay, I've been waiting for her. I've really liked her in the manga, and now I really like her in the anime. First note on Akiho is that her voice is really more energetic than I expected. I'm not familiar with the actress who goes with her, but yeah, this was a much more lively voice than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting, based on her character, to have kind of another Tomoyo type, with the very dignified speech, or at least very formal speech. And she goes that for language learners, you may have run into that issue where, like, you speak so formally, you don't have to. It's like, that's the only way I know how. I learned Tokyo Japanese, so I just speak that way. It's the same deal that I speak Chinese, and I speak it sometimes like a Taiwanese person because I had a bunch of Taiwanese teachers. But anyway, yeah, Akiho was great. I'm really looking forward to more of her. And obviously in the manga, I already know a lot of where her character goes. Let me talk about something else, though, that's less energetic or less happy, I guess. It's the animation in this episode seems off. I don't know if the director was different or if they changed the amount of money that went into this episode, but it really seemed off, and it wasn't even like the way I talked about last week, where like characters lose their sclera a lot. Again, I'm pretty sure that's just an art thing that they're going with, but like there were a lot more moments where things seemed off, or they seemed lazier or faster just to get the episode out, or like good in places and bad in other places. Not like crazy or anything, but like there were some distance shots that seemed especially low quality, and like in distance shots they're always going to be a lower quality, but these just kind of stuck out at me. I don't know, like there's the moment where they run out and see the walking trees for the first time after Sakura's put her costume on. That seemed a little lower res than normal to me. I'm not sure, maybe I'm just being paranoid. Sakura looked a little different in this episode, and I think that's probably because maybe the animation director on this episode did change. And like there's a cool graphic that has gone around a few times that shows like the Sakuras through the original series with the animator who was the director on the specific episode. So it shows like how different she looks. The look still is very consistent, but it just looked the slightest bit off. So I think I want to start reading the credits a little more closely and see, like, are we getting the different people? Because like the way animation goes, like you have an animation director, but usually you have like a head of animation for that episode. So like you have like your high animation director, and that's the guy with the long K name that I don't remember, but there might be different animator or different animation directors per episode. Okay, I talked a bunch about Akiho and the animation. What happened in this episode? Nothing new. Akiho is introduced. They have a little bit of extra time at school with her lessons and such. That's nice. They go over these little four character sayings. In Chinese we call them chengyu. I didn't catch what Japanese calls them. So there was that. That was a cool moment. I want to look those up myself. After that, the trees outside start walking. Sakura and Tomoyo are able to get out of class to go catch them. She uses siege to hold them, and this is not how I thought siege worked. See, I thought the way siege worked was that it basically isolates space from the outside world, and like while you're inside siege, you're basically not in this space. You're in another space, like a pocket space. But throughout the episode, we see that the siege cube, it's still there. Like you can see it. It appears on film and everything. So it's like, this isn't as useful as I thought. I mean, it still kept all the trees contained. That was the ultimate purpose. But like I expected, like when you use siege, it kind of like takes you into a pocket dimension for a little while. That seemed more like what it was. No, I do want to say like a note on siege that I didn't make during the siege episode is whenever they cast that card, that's like an instant reduction in animation budget because it just goes white. That you don't have to draw a background while this thing is being used. Other things. So yeah, they after she catches it, and Tomoyo laments that, yeah, you were so prepared for everything else, but you had no idea how you were going to film once she put siege up. Which, yeah, sad. Tomoyo, you're not getting as many of these cards as you were hoping. But I mean, if you go through the original series, Tomoyo only captures like, I don't know, less than 20 of the cards, I think, on film successfully, either because she wasn't there or because of something that kept her from being able to film or whatever. It's just, you know, her track record is keeping up with how it was in the original series. After that, Sakura goes to Yukito's house to discuss action, and she calls Shaoran. They have a little conversation before Shaoran immediately calls Ariel right after, and they have their whole mysterious, it's not time for you to do the thing yet. It's like, I know, I'm here for when that time comes. It's like, so, I mean, like, we already know that there's some kind of big conspiracy or something going on. The way I've really interpreted it is that Ariel possesses Cloud's memories, and Cloud knew the future. He probably foresaw a bunch of things in Sakura's life, but the only thing that he ever was involved in was his own storyline with Ariel. So he only set up for that. Now he's got this like, look, I know what's going to happen, but things need to play out the way they're going to play out, so I'm not interfering, and Shaoran, I need you to not interfere as well. That's sort of how I feel that this story is going, at least on the Ariel side. We don't really have any more insight as to how the Akiho Yuna side is going to go yet. We're not even that far in the manga, and we're certainly not that far in the anime. The teaser for next episode is actually really, really interesting because it's our first glimpse at an anime exclusive thing. So in the manga, they flash back to the flower viewing party that they invite Akiho to. Well, in this one, it looks like the entire episode is going to be that. At the end of the preview, you see the tree going all like tentacly, and that doesn't happen in the manga. So, congratulations, we have arrived at our first anime exclusive clear card. I think that's probably what we're going to look forward to in the next episode. At least that's what I'm hoping, is we're going to get our first anime exclusive. Regardless of if a clear card comes from it or if it's just going to be some kind of magical adventure, we are at least going to get our first anime exclusive thing happening. Like, there are some little things like things I didn't pick up on in the manga, but maybe are just made more obvious here. Like, Yukito has this little moment where he's like, I'd love to meet my other self. And actually, now that I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that happened, at least in the manga sometime. And I'm like, that's probably foreshadowing. It's like, I'm starting to think maybe by the end of this series, Yukito and Yue may end up getting to meet each other, even if they don't end up being separate from each other. There's also, like, little weird thing I noticed is, like, Shaoran's room has not changed at all. It's like they kept the animation sheets, and they just, he's got the exact same room. It's like he has the same apartment. It's like, really? He was gone the entire year, and he got exactly the same place. So, lucky him for the real estate market, I guess. But that's it for episode 4 of the Clear Cards. Tune in next week for episode 5. Remember to like, subscribe, all those YouTube things. And I will see you next week. Bye.